Throughout all my hours playing EU4, there is one mechanic that I've only ever used in one run. A mechanic I think most people kind of forget exists most of the time. Random New World is sort of the forgotten middle child of mechanics in EU4. You always kind of know it's there because it's right above the play button, so you have to sort of look at it every time you play a game. Well, no one really uses until today because I need an achievement, and just maybe we'll get something kind of cool. To avoid spoiling what the continent's going to look like, I'll turn on the Terra Incognita in the lobby, so that when we generate this random new world, we won't know what it'll look like. I do have to play one of the random new world countries, so to pick one, we're gonna zoom in real close. Yeah, so you know what's really funny actually is that I can't get this achievement when you're playing random new worlds if you're not playing as a tribe. Of course, why not? Because it's not like that's specified in the achievement or anything. Guess I'm doing this again. So this time I actually pre-generated a couple of random new world maps to make sure I wouldn't get a really bad starting situation since we have to start as a tribe. Been kind of a while since I last played a tribe, and the last one I did was the Iroquois and they're broken, so this time I need to play a little bit better. I think I'm gonna go ahead and maybe gamble because our current ruler is 532, decent stats, and only 18 years old, which means we should be able to form a federation and become strong enough before he dies that we don't need to take federation, and instead we can take chiefdom, because remaining as the leader of a federation requires that you have the most maximum manpower, which is a weird way to determine it, but it is what it is. Let's start with our rivals. We can also actually boost up our stability by 1 so that we can get religious sacrifices and these 2. First order of business, we need to start making the actual federation, because the most powerful thing you can get in the early game as a tribe is federation wars. Okay, that is most of the tribes in this federation. We have 2 federations over here, another federation over here, which means we're not going to be fighting anybody in the early game necessarily, although I guess we could, couldn't we? Because you 2 are in your own little federation right here, just 2 members. I guess what I could do at that point is probably invade you just for humiliation. Get that show strength early in the game. Finish off this mission, get a couple of nice things. We'll wait 1 month before we declare our war. Okay, you're calling in your federation member, that's fine. We'll go with, what is humiliate? I feel like I haven't seen this before. Anyway, humiliate rivals, the one we want for show strength. We'll go after these guys first, simply because we don't want to fight both of them. We have our ships over here to prevent them from crossing. And then we can just cross over. Probably not going to be the greatest battle, but livable. And besides, when we win, it's an automatic stack wipe, so kind of okay. That'll be 1 siege down. Next one shouldn't be too difficult. Having occupied both, we can now go to this guy and demand, I'd say maybe humiliation, war reps, rid of those alliances. And then of course from this guy we will go with our show strength. Beautiful. Now we do actually have an issue because we are weaker than many of our own federation members, but we do have a simple solution to that. Let's disband those mercenaries and let's migrate. Okay, there is a risk of some of these tribes moving, so I'm actually going to pick up and move over here again just to make sure I can claim this tribal land first. Oh yeah, we don't really have a coastline, so our ships are, yeah, they're gonna have to go. Let's pick up our unified war bands. We can actually use that for another show strength. This time, I don't even have to do anything. Ask for money and war reps and prestige and whatever gives me more prestige, to be honest. Just need some prestige right now. Do a second humiliate on this guy. Sure, why not? Take money and prestige from this guy. I feel like we don't even need to humiliate for this guy because we already freshly humiliated him. So we'll take money, war reps, and prestige. Now that I think about it, I'm really not getting much of this prestige, am I? Maybe I will just pick up a humiliation instead. Then from these guys, of course, we do want our show strength. Now, unfortunately, that does put us in a truce with this guy, so we actually can't migrate to his territory anymore. I kind of forgot that was a thing. Well, anyway, we do need to continue claiming this land as ours. So I'm gonna migrate here, and I'm gonna claim that as tribal land. And then I'll migrate here and do the same thing. But with every tribal territory you add, it does become more expensive to add the next one. I do kind of have an idea, so I'm gonna quickly migrate a whole lot. Oh, okay, hold on. The more you migrate, the more expensive it is. That's crazy. Also, someone just started a war. That's really lovely because I wanted to move into here specifically. That's really cool, thank you. But now I can't because, you know, we have a truce. Well, we're gonna have a truce with them. That's really cool. Oh, I see. Okay, so every time you migrate, when you're outside of your tribal land, it adds another multiplier to that. Okay, that's why that's an issue. Okay, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day, I guess. Next we'll go with joint grain depots, of course. We can build a building though. The best thing we could probably go for at the moment would be maybe the Great Trail. Give myself a little bit more time before I have to migrate each time. For tier 2, normally I would take land tradition, but I don't think there's that much land we can actually continue to claim, or at least land that we won't eventually have just from forming our federation anyway. In fact, what we want to do is form the federation, I think, as soon as possible. And for that, we're probably going to want monthly reform progress. Okay, now let's move into here. It is very expensive to continue migrating. It's really not great, but at the very least, we can sit here, graze on someone else's territory, and also apparently fulfill a mission. Okay, cool. Anyway, being on other people's territory gives you 0.1 per month, which is significantly better. It is just at the cost of making other people angry. Okay, not good. We are having some people leave the Federation, which is not ideal. I try my best to make everybody happy, but some people are kind of ruining it for themselves by sitting in my tribal territory. Okay, what's next? Settle cost, maybe? Because we do want to become settled at some point. Anyway, we should probably move at this point, and we'll turn that into tribal land. We no longer have our penalty to migration again. Okay, what do we want next? Probably the ceremonial fire pit. Okay, we're gonna move back into here so I can steal all that stuff. There's nothing these abilities really mean to us other than the fact that I could, I guess, get combat terrain bonus? Sure, okay. What else do we want at this point? Probably goods produced. Sounds good. Unintended. You know, I've been thinking actually that I would like to have a good place to settle down a capital. I looked at all the territory I have and it sucks. All of this stuff is like between 1 and maybe 5 development. Except there is this province. Now, I don't own this province, but I think I should. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. So this time I'm gonna go to each country and say, hey, actually, you're gonna give me all of your tribal land. I'm gonna take all of it, except for your capital. That's fine. I'll go for that later. Oh, hello, Castile. Yeah, maybe I should pick this up a little bit. Get our prestige from that one guy, and then I can... I mean, technically I could ask for both. Wouldn't really even cost that much extra. There we go. Now, both of these are our tribal land, which means, one, I don't get to have the extra bonus from grazing on this, but it does mean that I can move over here and turn this into tribal territory once I have enough admin. Although, boy, it does get expensive when you have a lot more, doesn't it? Okay, next federation thing. Attrition for enemies is not the worst thing out there, I guess. Oh boy, wait a second. I just saw something that said Portugal is neighboring the Federation. Oh, that can't surely... Wait a second. Wait. Oh, hello, Portugal. Oh god, we need to speed things up. We need to get so much faster. Oh no. Oh, hello, hold on. Oh, hold on. Hi. Hello, Portugal. Oh god. Oh god, oh no. I should have expected, actually, that we would not get a pop-up for Portugal declaring war because we're in a Federation. Listen, man, we have like 2 reforms left, or like 3 reforms. Come on, please. Please don't do this to me. Please take as long as you need, Portugal. And we really don't want to be in war. Not a good position to be in right now. Really don't want to be here because we need the next thing to be fast, and that's Portugal. They're right there. Wow. Oh god. Okay, that war is done. Can we defeat the Portuguese? Probably not. But we're gonna find out, aren't we? What tech do you have, Portugal? Tech 6? Yeah, we're cooked. Yeah, we're completely cooked. Is there a way for me to leave this war, actually? Giving them money and war reps, they would allow us to leave. See, what we need now more than anything else is to not be in this war. It's really important, actually, is that we just need to not be in this war at all. Although I do have a feeling that if we manage to get a bunch of people to actually come over here and, you know, attach to the army, we could probably defeat the Portuguese army. If we get like all 36,000 troops together, I think we could do it. But the AI is maybe not smart enough for that, possibly. Speaking of troops, though, hey, we should stay here, actually. We should not leave this part because we can stack, guys. No? Is there landing? No one wants to... Okay. We want to lose to Portugal. We can do that, I guess, if that's the plan. Sure, yeah, no, that's cool. Okay, we'll just let Portugal do what they want then. In fact, I might even try and sign a separate peace just so that I can get this over with. Okay, you done now? You're gonna grab the one thing that you were able to grab, or are you gonna go for more? Good chance, actually, that they're going to go for more, because why would they stop? We have no meaningful resistance. But I do want to settle down, except that we can't do anything because we're at war, and I don't want to be at war with Portugal. Okay, so if my federation Federation members are just going to lose a war to Portugal, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just give them what they want so that I can become free from being at war, which means that I can migrate over to this. We want this to be our capital, and we're gonna settle down, and we're going to do our first settlement. It actually will be next to Portugal, so that we can reform off of them as soon as possible. And I think I also want to maybe settle this one. All I can do is try to not die while I get enough of my reform progress to trade with them, so that we can embrace monarchy, get all the institutions, settle all of our provinces, so on and so forth. They want military access while they crush my federation. No thank you, that's fine. Please just stop being at war. But there are only 5 members left. We've already lost like 3. Yeah, there goes another one. Hey, at least we're not at war anymore. Hey, 3 of us survived. God, that's so bad. Okay, well, let's see what we can do with what we have left. At the very least, Portugal is going to be coring a lot of stuff, and then they'll make a colonial nation, and we can take everything back from them. But man, that was terrible. Really not a great start. But yeah, a second combat event, that definitely bodes well. Like at this point, what's really cool is that I don't have enough Federation members to be able to declare and win a war against any other Federation, so that's pretty cool. And Portugal has declared war on somebody. Who would that happen to be? Not me. Like, it's not good, but at least it's not me. Not yet, at least. Not my federation. Speaking of federation, we can finally create ours. We integrate all of our members. Not that it's really a lot, but anyway. What's this area called? Oriti? Okay, we'll call this the Oriti Confederacy. Kind of weird, actually, that the name of the country just didn't change, but okay, that's cool. I will pick up a few technologies, just because otherwise I will probably cap on points, and we might as well grab the techs now to make sure we don't die as quickly, in theory. Well, we can join a coalition. Man, you know what? Screw it, why not? We can't even do anything. Oh man, Portugal's on an absolute rampage right now. I'm really hoping that we'll still have enough time to reform, but the margins are looking kind of slim. We might actually just not get the chance. See, one of the main issues we have is that playing as close as we are to Europe, as you will maybe eventually see, we're pretty much just playing in the Caribbean. Like, this is how it would feel to play in the Caribbean, I think. 1489, Portugal arrives. You're not at all ready because the mechanics are not balanced to be this close to the Europeans. Like, usually you have a lot more time to get things done. Man, Portugal's just playing so aggressive. This sucks. But hey, there is one good part. There's one good thing. And that is that I can actually defeat these guys who are my rivals, and I can get either their territory or I can get more power points. Probably going to go with power points from show strength. I can get everything else pretty easily. But yeah, that's the bright side. At least I get to actually win wars. Oh, never mind. God damn it. Okay, let me guess. You want everything I have and more? Oh my god, dude. I just needed 3 years. I just needed 3 years. I just needed 3 years. Just 3 years. Just 3 years. That's all I needed, actually. Just, you know, three entire years, I think. Hold on, can I at least do this while at war? Technically, yes. Can I do guerrilla warfare for 3 years? I guess we'll find out. Actually, it might be possible only because for some reason the Portuguese AI is brain dead. Not their colony. Their colony's not brain dead. The main point is, if I can just stay alive for 3 years, then I can get my reform. I'll get the monarchy governments. I will settle every tribal land province. I will embrace all institutions that they have. And in theory, that will allow us to pick up the next Miltex at least, or not lose as hard. That would work too. The only way I'm able to win any battle is with this kind of advantage. Oh, also, let's go ahead and grab improved war taxes, just so I can throw those on. Come on, let's get a win on that. Nice. You know, if the Portuguese army decided to do anything, it would be so over for us. Trying to stay clear of them so that they don't suddenly reactivate like sleeper agents or something, I don't know. Okay, we can clear these guys out pretty quickly. Perfect. Uh-oh, Portugal's reactivated. I repeat, Portugal has reactivated. Oh god. Okay, we just need to not be in their path. Just please don't kill me. I'm gonna scorch earth like everything I own. Please, god, please. I just need to survive a few more months. Okay, they are in the capital. We don't have anything for that because, of course, we're still a tribe. You know what? The money's fine. We're just gonna move down here, grab that war goal, circle back around, and in a few months, less than a year, we should be able to reform. Oh man, they've taken the capital so quickly. Really not in a great position. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I should be fast enough that you don't kill me. Ideally. Yeah, they're gonna try and siege that stuff back down. I'm gonna move north. Okay, we can reform now. I'm really hoping that this is going to be enough, because if it's not, then we're cooked. Yeah, we're pretty much cooked. Yeah, we actually don't get any tech. That's great. That's really good. Okay. Well, that's only 478, so that's good, but man, okay, we don't get any tech. Forgot we don't get any tech whatsoever to speak of. That's cool. We get our first idea group. Not that we can really use it for much, but I don't know, maybe innovative ideas, because what else am I going to do? So maybe we do go with innovative just so we can catch up. Okay, yeah, so tech is still bad, actually. Tech is still worse than most of the other native tribes. So that really didn't save us. And at this point, they still want everything. Okay, that's kind of bad. All right, we do have some, we can't even sell titles because we have actually nothing. Okay, we'll go with that and that and that. Lost a few rivals, that kind of makes sense. We have larger loans though, so I'm gonna go ahead to my merchants, ask him for a couple of loans. Spend that on stuff like mercenary companies. Yeah, maybe not the greatest place for a mercenary company, oops. Fortunately, we can still leave, so we're good. Oh, it's so stressful. It's so stressful for something that's so stupid. Man, I don't even like Random New World. What am I doing? Why am I playing this? Oh god, no, what have I done? When do you get here? 27th of November? Okay, it might be cooked. Might have actually cooked myself. I suppose that'll do anything. Man, fine. They will die a glorious sacrifice. In fact, we can get you to retreat to here, hopefully. Okay, that's not too bad. As far as battles go, losing 1,000 people, especially when you should get stack wiped, not too bad. Okay, yeah, Portugal still wants everything. Dude, why are you like this? Please stop. I'm just a guy. I'm just a little dude. I don't deserve this. Man, and no good general. Lose a general, no good general, and I just wasted mill points for no reason. Good job, me. Really hitting it out of the park today. Now, it really isn't ideal, but it does keep us alive and relatively contiguous, and that's the part that matters. We do also lose a bunch of money, but at least we're not bankrupt. We can probably make it back, and I think we'll be able to hopefully catch up in tech, maybe, we'll see. Okay, so from this guy, we do want that show strength. It's probably one of the last ones we're going to get before we outclass everybody except for the Portuguese colony. We also need to sell some titles and take some land back just so we can start making a little bit of money, repaying some of our loans. And let's not forget to make a couple of allies where we can, except you're at war with Portugal and you're at war with Portugal. Okay, everybody's at war with Portugal. How about these guys? You're not at war with anybody yet. Another reform, we definitely need more money at this point. And 132 as heir, isn't that really, really cool? Ruler's dead, new king, 142, we have absolutely no legitimacy, that's great. That's really good series of events going on. I'm putting pretty much all my money towards advisors to try and catch up on tech as soon as possible. You know what, I'm so down bad at this point, I'm probably going to improve relations with our former rival and ask like, hey, do you want to like put our differences aside? Because if we don't stick together, neither of us are getting out if you're alive. Some more titles, see some more land back, so we don't have as many loans that we're taking out. We do get our third innovative idea, which should give us that tech cost reduction. Okay, we do have Miltech 7, the enemy now has Miltech 8, but they are also at war. Our truce comes up in about a year, so that's just enough time for us to pick up a general. Or, you know, we can see what this guy's got. Passable, I guess. Once again, we will sell some titles and take some ground land back so that we have enough money to fund this war, or at least part of the war. It seems Portugal is currently distracted in a war against, who is that? Tugard and Morocco. Okay, I don't know how much longer that's going to last, so we need to seize our opportunity while Portugal cannot fight us. We will go for Reconquest to grab all of our stuff back. We just need to check if they are home or overseas right now. And they are home. Okay, we're going to chase them down and we're going to destroy that army. Except that they're fast and really annoying. Okay, we still have the worst military tech, but we are getting better rolls slightly, which is good. We can also call in our ally. This is what you're made for. Not going to demand anything, are you? You might. No, actually, that's fine. Yeah, join the war. Because at the very least, they can just occupy stuff for me. Okay, stack wipe. That's beautiful. Then we just need to go ahead and occupy all of this. We don't have enough ships, so we can't actually cross over into here and take all this stuff, but we can take a good number of our cores back. The most important part of this is that we need to make sure we finish this off before Portugal is done with their war. Otherwise, they will be able to enforce peace, and I don't think you can do that while you're at war. That's the only reason that they haven't done it so far. Actually, what are your ships made of? 4 lights and 8 transports. How many loans can I have? A couple more? I can make a few galleys. This is all inland sea or coast, I guess. Really should be inland sea, but whatever. We can build maybe like 6 galleys. That should do it. Okay, we have taken the capital. Oh, let's go. We are so back. that is going to be expensive to core up, but it is only 38% overextension, which means it's not actually that bad. We do get quite a few of our cores back. We get 400 ducats, which we can use to either pay off loans or build ships that we're going to need to be able to put down some rebels. But yeah, things are looking a lot better. That's peak. Okay, let's start coring the stuff that we actually need to core. We can also embrace the next institution. That's not too bad, actually. But what we should do first is actually shuffle around our debt. We can only have 20 loans, which means we do need to repay some of them. We'll repay that one, that's fine. We'll start with the smallest loans we have here. Like that one and this one. Still, unfortunately, do need a little bit more money. Okay, I guess we can debase a little bit of currency for that, just so we can repay one more of those loans, then we can take out one of these loans and repay some more of these smaller ones. Okay, we can only have 20 loans, but we have 15, which means we can take out the smaller loans again. Or, you know, the low interest ones. This brings us to just 6 loans. 5 of them are 1%, one of them is a regular loan, but hey, that's not too bad. Then we'll go with decentralized bureaucracy. Notice actually, there are quite a lot of provinces or states that are just one province. Like this is its own state, that's its own state, this and this, those are their own states. Even this is its own state, same with this island. And to think, they made this mechanic back when state number actually mattered. So you could only actually have like a specific number of states instead of governing capacity. I forget to grab one of these. Again, we're not really colonizing at the moment, just because it's not a good use of money. It will be. I probably will take the next idea group as like exploration or something, I don't know. Decadence, what do you mean decadence? We've had such a terrible, tough time. I do not need this event. Free peace and prosperity our country's experiencing. I don't know if I'd call that prosperity right now. And the peace is tenuous at best. But cool, thank you, that's neat. Okay, let's sell some titles, see some more land back, because I am kind of broke. Oh, hey there, buddy. I did guarantee your independence, didn't I? That's true. They have Tech 9, I have Tech 8. I get Tech 9 pretty soon. And I did build a whole navy, and an army. And I did that for a reason. And that reason is to screw Portugal. But also, if they call in Spain and England, then I do not want any part of this. I have a feeling they won't though, so you know what? You know what? Maybe I agree. See, the thing is, I have an actual navy. 20 galleys is nothing to scoff at. Oh, hello, Portugal. Where are you going with that? Over here, it seems. Do I really want to be fighting this? Hold on. I do have my 19 galleys, but if 3 heavies. And I simply do not have the tech for this, apparently. Shoot. I mean, I'm on Diplotech 8. I didn't think it would make that big of a difference. No, it definitely does. Oh, shoot. Well, that's unfortunate. You know what? Actually, I could embrace colonialism. It costs a little bit of money. And we actually have a lot of debt, man. But it's better than paying extra. Yeah, this is fine. We'll take that and that. Decent air. Unfortunately, our navy's not gonna like what's about to happen. Or maybe we're fine. I thought you were gonna try and fight me. Yeah, I would really like them to pick one army to try and fight. That would be really, really cool, actually, if they want to do that. Pick an army. Any army, please. Okay, we do have a taker. And they are locked in. Okay. Not the worst battle I've ever baited. Although my navy is definitely cooked. I was not paying attention to that. And they're probably going to try and drop more units off, if I had to imagine. Yep, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, get a little stack wipe there. Should be able to wipe that, hopefully. We do need to finish this war soon-ish, because if we don't, then, you know, rebel problems. Plus, the old economy is not looking too great. We have 16 loans out of 24 that we can take. The Portuguese army doing a landing, this time taking care of my rebels, which is very nice of them, before just leaving. Okay, no, that's cool. They land just to help me with my rebels and then leave. Okay. Well, we don't have much going for us. Might as well sell titles, and at this point, if we can't win, then it's pretty much game over anyway, so. Now, we can pick up Miltech 10. Unfortunately, bankruptcy is looming for us. And we just spent so much money. I guess I was spending it on advisors and, well, the army, of course. It's actually more like we don't make any money. Why is that? Well, we don't make any money because our autonomy is high because I wasn't at peace to reduce it and so on and so forth. And also everything is expensive. I guess they've also occupied too much territory, so my loan limit was reduced. Guess I could debase currency a few times, even though I'd rather not. Ooh, right, I'm not the war leader. I hate subjects, or allies, or friends, or all of you. I hate all of you. Of course, I forgot. I don't actually have a say in this, because I'm not the war leader. Okay, so I had entered this war hoping I'd actually be able to take money from Portugal in this war. That's not happening, I guess. In fact, they have taken territory from me. Isn't that really funny and cool, and not at all the most annoying thing that exists in this game? What we need right now the most is money, and we need the Portuguese to cooperate so that we can make money. So we need to accept Portuguese culture, of course, and I've also gotten ourselves enforced interfaith dialogue to reduce the heathen penalty so that they give me, you know, more taxes. Oh wow, is that a complete colony that has everything colonized in its area that I can take? Excellent. Don't mind if I do, actually. Okay, full annexation of another Portuguese colony gives us a lot more territory, a little bit more money, kind of. It's not enough, but it's a start. At the very least, we can, well, let's see, how much do we get from that? Not very much, but we can still sell titles and get some land back. Our loans are slightly larger, so I don't mind repaying a couple of these smaller ones. Ruler's dead, okay, Queen Consort Regency. Queen is really not that great, but that's just for 5 years until we get an actually good guy in charge. Hopefully we don't get an actual civil war over this. Oh no, because we have a Regency Council, or a regent, right? We desperately need some religious unity right now. It would also be really great to reduce that tech cost for admin. At the very least, we can take these 2 techs, super important, to try to reduce some of the inflation we have. I have about 3 years to try and get 50% manpower. That's not going to be easy, but in theory, doable, maybe. Okay, great, so random event that has forced me into getting +1 or +1.5 each month. That's really cool. So either a stability or 25 legitimacy. But in theory, in less than a year, we should be able to get a new heir in charge of the country, which means that the legitimacy should reset to the claim strength, I think. Bit of a gamble, but I will go with legitimacy. And that was actually instant. Perfect. Oh man, okay. Actually decent roller this time. That's good. We can get a 343 guaranteed. I will take that, because we could always get something worse. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I can clear this real quick. It actually isn't that difficult. If we need 50% manpower, and we're getting kind of close to that, then we can just get a little bit of manpower like this, and that'll solve the problem. Okay, perfect. That means I can actually start building the army again. Okay, here's the thing. Our truce with Portugal is up. This is not a good thing. Like a really, really not a good thing. But they might not attack us, because we do have better technology, and about a similar sized army. So I would like to declare war on the colony. Enforce peace from Portugal. You're really cringe for that, you know? Did you know that? Do you know you're really cringe? Oh god, man. Why? I just want a little bit of territory, you know? Just a little bit. Just a smidgen. I mean, I guess if we're doing this. Man, this sucks. Okay, next idea group. Exploration at this point seems completely useless. Unless I win, and then it's a really good idea. Okay, no, we probably want, I don't know, offensive ideas, maybe? Discipline, better leaders. Surprisingly, you know what? It's actually not the worst outcome that could have happened. We're not doing too bad. Just not doing too great either. Stability? Oh, I would love a stability, thank you. Just when I thought things might have been going pretty well. Hello, Portuguese fleet. Fancy seeing you here. Only 13 transports, though. That is a good sign. Actually, you know what's probably a good money investment? How expensive is this? 226 ducats. Should have done that earlier. Okay, right, no, that's a good idea, because I can't actually stop that. 3 heavies, 6 galleys. I do have 27 galleys. Is it going to be enough? Maybe, but only because we have the same naval tech. Their engagement width is genuinely insane, though. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. They do have better tech than we do. That'll actually make us lose. We have nowhere near the engagement width, and that actually is what matters the most in naval combat. So that's kind of a shame. They are attempting to leave. I'm probably going to have to stop that. We have a 233. What do we have? 211. That's not very good. Let's see. Can we get a better general? Maybe. Not like we can get one worse, at least. There we go. Now that's a general. Perfect. Still gonna get the -2, but at least we actually have decent stats now. Okay, now you want to try and leave. This is going to be quite the sacrifice that I don't really want to make, but we're going to use our ships, keep them from leaving, so we can wipe them. Okay, hold on, buddy. You don't just get to leave. Oh man, he's got hands. Maybe he does just get to leave. Okay, no, we've won. That's good. We can stack wipe him. Whew, that is intense. That is tough. But if we can just get this one siege back, since we're so close to getting maximum ticking war score. Oh god, the Portuguese are coming back. Okay, this is probably going to be the best that we can do. Best that we can take from Portugal. Real quick, I am going to sell some titles before I take all that land, just so that we get some more crown land out of it. This is most of the provinces, plus war reps, plus nearly max money. I don't think we're getting a better deal than this, and it is glorious. We are so back right now. In fact, let me go ahead and decrease some of that before we take some crown land back, plus we get some from conquering. and with that money we can pay off our 1% loans to take them back out. Admin Tech 10 will allow us to finally pick up our exploration ideas. We do have a colonist we can start using to fill out the rest of this area. Population isn't really too high in most of these provinces. Might as well keep this repression policy. I would like reduced colony cost, New World charters, and New World missions. You know, I kind of forgot that I had war taxes on the whole time. That's kind of embarrassing in hindsight. Pretty large place we have here in the New World. Now you can understand why we are basically the Caribbean. Well, not quite. We do have these islands up here. But yeah, we're actually the first stop from Portugal to the New World, which is why Portugal was so aggressive with us. Isn't that lovely? King's dead. That's a shame. We do have a relatively reasonable one and a terrible succession. Just gonna get rid of that guy. Actually, you know what would be a decent idea? I'm gonna put down another colony, and I'm gonna put it down over here. You know, we really don't have that large of a random New World, but remember that this is pretty much the entire Atlantic to edge of sort of middle of Pacific being replaced. So actually a really sizable part of the globe. Quite empty though, which is good because I don't want to spend the next 3 hours exploring a massive random New World. Also, is that Cleo? Is that a reference to fellow EU4 VTuber Cleo? And with this last province, we should be done. Yes, here we are. Not surprising that only 0.6% of players have this achievement. It's terrible. Like, there's really no getting around that part. It just sucks. I bet it was really interesting when the random New World mechanic came out, so it gave you a reason to try the mechanic. You know, sometimes they do that with achievements to get you to try something that's new to the game. But that instead was grueling. Possibly because we didn't have that much time to prepare, and then afterwards it was a lot of catch up and try not to die, which we did succeed in. We are far from a great power, but we are still alive. Also with mostly up-to-date tech and full idea groups except for the one that we just took. So I'd say overall not my worst performance in EU4. Anyway, I would not recommend this, at least not playing as a native tribe in the random New World. Sometimes they have cool things, like up here we have Vinland. Isn't that neat? You can find some advanced starts like that. Or you can just play as like a colonizer and not know what you're gonna get in the New World. That's fun, maybe. I think I did that once as France. If you enjoyed today's video, leaving a like would be super appreciated, and if you're new here, then maybe subscribe. We are trying to reach 75,000 subscribers, ideally by the end of the year. But anyway, for now, this is Corbett signing off, and as always, have a fantastic day. I'd like to give a big shout out to all the people who donate monthly to the Patreon. They do receive early access to videos for as low as $1, so I'd like to give a special thank you to the people who decide to donate more than that. In particular, Erica, Baby Cal, Born to Dunk, Lickebecker, Nick Steffel, Hugh Brute, AG Forero, Ben Mottram, Quiet Guy, Rosset, Torvald, Ambient Cyan, Elysia Tats, James Levy, Luke78776, Stalin DLRP, and Robert.